What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, I want to talk about the official signing of newly acquired Patriots linebacker here in Jamie Collins. Of course, this is Jamie Collins' third stint with the New England Patriots. So, whether you're a new fan to this organization or whether you've been a fan for years, you should know who Jamie Collins is. Now, I already talked about Jamie Collins a little bit in a separate video, I believe last week, where I said Jamie Collins is a guy New England needs to jump on. They need to sign him. He can really help bolster this Patriots defense. And we'll get into exactly why, in this video. What does Jamie Collins bring? And why did New England essentially decide to bring him back? But we got to talk about the terms of this deal a little bit first, as this is just a one-year deal. And I think that's a little bit of the frustrating thing here is, third stint with the team. We have a little over half a season left. And then we'll be dealing with Jamie Collins being a free agent yet again. Now, we know what Jamie Collins brings to this organization. We know what he brings to this defense. We know that when he is on the field, he is the most athletic linebacker that the Patriots have. Now, Jamie Collins has always been able to produce when he was with the New England Patriots. He can't say the same thing about the other franchises that he's been with, such as the Cleveland Browns that he was with for a couple of years, or most recently the Detroit Lions. When he's not with the New England Patriots, he does not produce well. Essentially, that has been what has led to his release both times with the Lions and the Browns. It comes to both that and the money he was making. But when he's with New England, he's putting up elite statistics. He's making Pro Bowls. He's one of the best linebackers in the league. And Jamie Collins is 31 years old. He's up there in age. He only has so much more years in the NFL to play, and at 31, it is going to be hard for him to get a big contract, especially with how he performed over the last couple of seasons with the Detroit Lions. Collins has always been a guy who has chased after money his entire career. He never really cared about where he was necessarily, or even for that matter, how he performed. He never really cared about the player he was or, being one of the best at the position in the NFL. He cared more about, okay, where can I go to chase that big contract, which is, it's totally okay. Every player is different within that aspect. But you would think at 31 years old, you would realize by now, being with two separate franchises that are not the New England Patriots, that at this point, you're a system player, and you can't say that you're not a system player because you've been with three franchises. Your third stint again with the New England Patriots. Your first tenure with the team, you put up Pro Bowl level numbers. You were one of the best in the league. You got sent off to the Browns, and the couple years you were with them, you didn't put up good statistics, and that led to your release. The 1 year you re-signed with the team, you had a huge bounce back year. And then you go ahead in free agency and sign a big contract that the Patriots essentially got you, and you don't perform the same with the Lions for the couple years you're with them. So, of course, only time will tell what is going to happen with Jamie Collins, but we've seen this storyline several times, and it gets to a point where it's annoying, where, hey, Jamie Collins is released yet again. He's going to come back to the New England Patriots, but only for one season because he knows he's going to perform well with the Patriots and wants to reset his market and get the highest contract he can somewhere else in the upcoming free agency period. Now, although this is a one-year deal, we don't know the current terms of the deal. I wouldn't imagine that it is too much. It's not like, again, Jamie Collins was performing too well. I do believe he had a market, but, I wasn't hearing a spectacular market for Jamie Collins. And the addition of Jamie Collins is actually part of why Stephon Gilmore was shipped off in a trade to the Carolina Panthers. New England only had about $200,000 in available cap space. Now, one, that is not enough to sign Jamie Collins. That is not enough to make really any other roster moves throughout the rest of the season. And with the trade deadline just around the bend, New England is usually active within that time period. But also what you have to keep in mind is in-season roster bonuses that the team has to give out. $200,000 is not enough for giving out those in-season roster bonuses, nor to make any other potential roster moves. With the money that trading Stephon Gilmore freed up, New England is able to give out those contracts and also able to bring in Jamie Collins. Now, guys, before we continue on to what does Jamie Collins bring to the Patriots defense, what does this addition mean for the defense going forward, and a little bit about the Boogeyman defense being back, I do want to let you guys know about a limited time offer here to get your own custom jerseys. Now, I'm not talking about a $100 NFL jersey that is completely overpriced just for you to get, your custom name on the back and for you to be able to pick a number. Now, I am talking about you being able to completely design a football, basketball, baseball, hockey jersey, any sports jersey, all the way from the stitching to the name, to the number, to the color, to the logo, anything you guys can think of. And right now you can get 10% off using the promo code Patriots if you guys go to teamjerseypro.com right now. I will link that below in the description box. But I feel like the addition of Jamie Collins was actually way more needed than a lot of people realize. This isn't just bringing back or bolstering the linebacker core. This is making a genuine addition that was genuinely needed. Going into the season, I thought that New England's linebacker core had the potential to be one of the best in the league. I mean, they were bringing back every guy essentially from that boogeyman defense linebacker core other than Jamie Collins. We are heading into week 5, though, and Dont'a Hightower has not looked good at all. Kyle Van Noy mentally just looks a step slow. He has not been performing well. Juwan Bentley has been this team's number 1 linebacker, and unfortunately, he is dealing with an injury over the last couple of weeks also, was inactive for week 4. So an addition of an impactful and healthy linebacker could go a long way to help out this defense. Having a guy that knows your system too in and out and can make an immediate contribution to your defense isn't going to take time for him to learn the playbook again as we head into week 5, I think is the best possible scenario here for the Pats. Now, Jamie Collins is a very good all-around linebacker. He was a guy that I actually wanted the Patriots to re-sign. Let's remember that Jamie Collins and Kyle Van Noy left in the same offseason, and both were very versatile linebackers, especially Jamie Collins. He's a guy that makes plays in the back, in the opposing offense's backfield behind the line of scrimmage for the run game. He's really good as a pass rusher. He's good in coverage also. Not to mention the ability to also have a contribution on special teams. Now, so far in 2021 with the Lions through 4 games, he has an overall PFF grade of 64.7, a run defensive grade of 79.8, which could really help come in clutch with the Pats as they struggle to defend the run, a pass rush grade of 82.3, so it looks like he's only going to help to that lethal pass rush that the New England Patriots have, which I'll get into here in a second, and has just a coverage grade of 42.8. Now, so far this season, he has a total of 50 run defensive snaps, 4 pass rush snaps, and 46 coverage snaps. Now, I don't know how much this is genuinely going to impact Dont'a Hightower. I don't think that the addition of Jamie Collins is going to all of a sudden fire up Dont'a Hightower to become the player he once was, but I do think this has the potential to help out Kyle Van Noy a lot more, because right now Kyle Van Noy, I think part of his issue too is just kind of the way he's being utilized isn't necessarily being used as he was in his last year or last 2 years really with the Patriots, which is when he was most productive. I think that adding Jamie Collins back, you can kind of squeeze Jamie Collins into that Kyle Van Noy role and put Kyle Van Noy back to where he originally was with the Patriots before he left to go to the Dolphins. Like I mentioned, I think that this is only going to help the Patriots pass rush even more. And you can never have enough pass rush, especially with some people questioning how is the secondary going to hold up against teams like the Dallas Cowboys, against higher quality teams that they could face in the playoffs, the Cleveland Browns, the Kansas City Chiefs if they face them. And the best way to offset that is pass rush. Now imagine Josh Uche on one side, Matt Judon on the other, with Jamie Collins coming through the middle of the defense as an off-the-ball linebacker. Now, I did just talk about his 2021 grades so far with the Lions, but I do think that we should go back and look at his 2019 stats, which was his most recent stint with the Patriots, because I do expect them to utilize Jamie Collins the same way they did in 2019, which is a little bit different than how the Lions have used him. Now, in 2019, Jamie Collins had an overall grade of PFF of 75.8, a run defensive grade of 58.8, which is actually really surprising. Because if you go back, look at his highlights, he just made several plays in the backfield when it came to this run defense. Had a pass rush grade of 77.7 and a coverage grade of 74.8. New England actually mainly used him as a coverage linebacker, which makes a ton of sense as he is the most athletic and fastest linebacker now for the New England Patriots, with his sideline-to-sideline speed in 2019, having 343 coverage snaps, 189 pass rush, and 281 run defensive. That season, he was also tied for third in the league with interceptions for 3, and was also tied for first in the league for forced fumbles with 3. I think at this point, what New England needs is an explosive defensive player to help make more plays. At this point, it isn't just about stopping the run. It isn't just about preventing guys from converting. This team needs to give the offense more opportunities, and what that means is explosive plays. We need forced fumbles, we need interceptions, we need sacks. We need to give this offense more opportunities, and right now the Patriots just are not getting enough defensive takeaways. But before we do end this video off, I do want to give a huge, massive shout out to the sponsors of this channel, betonline.ag. BetOnline is back and better than ever as all eyes are on the gridiron teams. They are back to start yet again another football season, and as always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all pro and college football action this season. With a new updated site and interface with even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. All you guys got to do is head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% welcome bonus. Guys, that is double your initial deposit just for signing up. Do not forget to use that promo code NFL100, all the way from basketball to football to boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Do not wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. This is BetOnline, the fastest and easiest ways to bet on all of your favorite sports, and BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. But Jamie Collins officially back for his third stint with the New England Patriots. What are your guys' thoughts on this? What are your expectations for not just Jamie Collins, but also the Patriots defense with the addition of Collins now to it? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video. Subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and go Pats.